Hey, Rubin here. So welcome to today's video where I'm going to be talking all about what social anxiety is like. What is a day in the life of a social anxiety sufferer? I'm going to share my personal experience with this. Let's not waste any time. Let's dive right in right now. So before we get into it, just want to quickly welcome you. If you're new to the channel, you're new to the community, welcome. Thanks for stopping by. My name is Rubin and I help individuals eliminate their anxiety attacks and social anxiety. So if that's something you struggle with, hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit the bell notification so that you can be notified right away when I release helpful content, videos just like this to help you along your recovery journey. So what is social anxiety like? Whew, boy, have I got some stories for you. Okay. So, I first started noticing I had a very severe problem 2015. Okay. That's when I started working at this office. It's like 400 people. Okay. Now here's a typical day. So wake up a bit before 7, get ready. I'm on the bus towards work. I have about an hour commute every morning. So I jump on the bus and every morning, this is what it was like. Before I get on the bus, take a few deep breaths because I'm claustrophobic. I don't know if I'm going to have a panic attack on the bus. Okay. I don't know if the panic attack's coming. So I got to go to the bus. As I walk onto the bus feeling overwhelmed because it feels like everyone's watching and judging me, right? So I'm trying to be robotic and control my movements and trying not to come across as weird as I walk to the back of the bus. Okay. So maybe I find a seat, maybe I don't. And the whole time, so as soon as I find my spot, I right away, I go into the breathing techniques because I got to stay calm, right? I got to stay calm. I got to ensure this panic attack doesn't come on. So the whole time on the bus, I'm doing the breathing techniques, or I'm listening to, a meditation to guide me with my breathing to ensure I just don't get overwhelmed and start panicking. Then I would get to work. So I get to work, I get to the office, and I settle in at my desk and I start working away. And the day is kind of packed with different meetings. It's packed with having to interact with certain people. But then there's just the random stuff that happens throughout the day. So for example, it's like I would go to fill up my water bottle. And if there's one thing I could mention for what social anxiety is like, it's like living in a constant state of fear. Always in fear, always worrying about something. Constantly. No matter what you do throughout your day, you're either worried about something or you're avoiding something because you're feeling fear about it. Constant fear and discomfort following you around wherever you go. So little things, it could be like, I got to fill up my water bottle. I'll go get a cup of coffee. So I'll walk from my desk to the common area and just if I saw someone there, doing one of these and walking the other way, pretending like I don't need water, I don't need coffee. Okay. Checking out, scanning the area. Okay. Coast is clear. So I would go up and I would start filling up the water bottle. Something that seems so, it doesn't seem like a big deal, and normal people wouldn't bat an eye over it. So I would start filling up my water bottle, but then I would notice somebody has come up behind me, and now I'm worried about being watched. So I'm worried the water can't fill up faster. I want this water to fill up so fast because I got eyes on me. I'm wondering are they watching me? Am I coming across as weird? And I'm trying to behave in a way. I don't want to act like a weirdo. I don't want to seem stiff. Okay. So now I'm not even in my body anymore. Something's taken over my body. I'm just focused on trying not to come across as weird. Okay. So what do? The water bottle's half full. I book it back. I don't need water. This person, I'm being a nuisance. This person needs a sink. I'm gonna just go back to my desk with a half water bottle full of water. Okay, so that's kind of like a typical occurrence that I would feel. And then so going back to the desk. Now I'm back at my desk, and I'm working on something. I might get a few emails. Something comes up with my job. I was working in software. So I was working as a business systems analyst. So something came up, problem with the software. I have to go ask my manager a question. Okay. And right away, remember that constant fear. Just how am I going to ask the question? I had such a strong fear of authority figures. So how am I going to ask this question? So starting my breathing techniques, trying to calm myself down, giving myself affirmation that I can do it. I do have the courage. You can do this. You can go ask your manager a question. Okay. So I work up the courage. I close my eyes for a bit, and it's time to rock. It's time to go ask my manager a question. Okay. This is only like an hour or two into the day, right? But so I walk over and then I ask the question. I'm trying not to stutter, but I'm stuttering. I'm trying to make eye contact. I can barely make eye contact. And so I ask a question. My manager says something back, but I'm not really listening. I'm just trying to manage my anxiety, right? So he says something back, and I have to keep asking for clarification because I'm not listening. And I walk away. This is what the anxiety is like, right? So I walk away. I feel embarrassed because I was stuttering and I made myself look stupid. Walk away with the self-talk, like, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? And then this is another really key thing for what social anxiety is like, is getting back to my desk and now replaying the past conversation. The conversation I just had with my manager, now I'm replaying and analyzing it. Oh, why did I say that? Why did you say something so stupid? You shouldn't have said that. Oh, why did he look at me like that? Like, what was he thinking? Like, why did he say that to me? Constantly replaying and replaying and replaying this past conversation. And it's hard to focus now because now I'm just ruminating on this past conversation. Then it's almost time for the team meeting, right? So I got to go into a team meeting. Way too anxious to do that. So what do? I got to go to the bathroom stall. I got to go hide out in the bathroom stall, start visualizing, giving myself more affirmations, do some more breathing techniques, trying to calm myself down, right? This is really what it was like on moment to moment. So this is maybe just a couple of hours later. Now I'm in the bathroom. So there was just so much effort trying to manage this anxiety, just cope with it. Go into the bathroom stall, try to get myself as confident as I can be, rehearsing how it's going to go, rehearsing what I'm going to say, right? Rehearsing how it's going to go so perfectly. And then going into the work meetings and having these full-on anxiety attacks where, if people are asking me questions or putting me on the spot, I'm full-on having anxiety attacks. Mind's blank, heart palpitations, can't breathe, stuttering, voice shaking, the whole nine. And then once again, after I lose control, I got to do the walk of shame back to my desk. Everybody saw me lose control, have an anxiety attack, completely regress into a little child, essentially, with a shaky voice. Couldn't get any words out. Have to apologize for it. And then just walking back to my desk again with my head down and just kind of sitting there after, just sad. It's like, what am I supposed to do? Like, what am I supposed to do to be able to just speak like everybody else? Okay, that's what this anxiety feels like. It makes you feel different on the inside. It makes you feel a lot of shame for having it in the first place. Because when you go into these meetings and stuff, it was like everybody could speak and they could do their job, because that's an absolute minimum requirement, right? Like, everybody in those meetings has a job. They're just reporting back. They're just reporting to each other updates about their job. Okay. So I can do the job, but I can't even report or be connected or share anything about my job because I am not unable to speak. So my challenge is, how do I be able to speak comfortably, get more than a few words out, stop stuttering, stop my mind from going blank? So what do? You got to research. You got to go on YouTube. You got to go on Google. How do you fix this? How do you fix this? How do you fix this? Just scouring the internet, researching. What's the cure? What's the cure? What's the cure? Right? Just in complete desperation to fix this. Just want to be normal, right? So then it's, lunchtime comes around, 12, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. And so it's time to go eat. You might see random people. And it also feels like a constant dread walking around because, it's not just bumping into people and having conversation. It's dreading the feelings that come up. It's dreading that, when you're in the conversation, I would dread it because I would be fending off like a panic attack. I would be fending off this anxiety. It would mean putting all my effort into not coming across as anxious. So that's why I would dread these conversations. So overall, it's so much planning around this anxiety, avoiding. How do I avoid the conversations overall? How do I avoid them completely? If I'm in them, how do I manage the anxiety so it doesn't come up during the conversation? How do I not come across as a weirdo? When it does happen, when I do get triggered after the fact, how do I minimize how shameful or the aftermath that you're going to feel after, right? That's what it's like. It's like avoid. If you can't, manage it as best you can in the moment. And then after the fact, I hit the mic there. After the fact, when you do, maybe you feel embarrassed yourself, you have to deal with the constant replay and the shame over how you're not normal. That's really what the experience of social anxiety is like. So I would go down, say lunch hour, let's say I wanted to work out. I remember heading over to the gym. So there's a gym in the building. I would go down in my workout gear. I'm going to go work out. And a friend of mine from the office would be like, "Hey, Rubin, where are you going?" And I would just get startled, like, "Oh my goodness, I would regress again into this child, like I'm in trouble. Oh my God, like I'm startled, I'm confused, I'm looking, and I'm telling him I'm just going to the gym, like I'm doing something wrong. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm just going to the gym on my lunch hour, but it's just the questions would be so triggering and the interactions would be so triggering, and then." After you get triggered, remember, like we were just saying, there's just so much shame about being triggered. There's so much shame about not being able to just naturally do things like everyday people do. So then after lunch, I go back to my desk for a couple hours, and it's time to call it a day. And then what comes next? Back on the public transit. So take another few deep breaths, do the breathing techniques, do the meditation. Right? Because I need that trip home to be without a panic attack. I need that trip home to be not so overwhelming. And then make it home like 5, 6 o'clock. And then that's when the worry sets in again. Worry. What am I going to do for a career? How am I ever going to progress? How am I ever going to connect with people? So it's, social anxiety, there's this constant fear and avoidance. And then there's this aftermath where you're constantly worrying if things are going to be okay. And I think that was my experience with social anxiety. If it sounds familiar, what you can do, download your free ebook. I'm going to link it below the video. And it goes in depth. It talks about how this social anxiety, how it's developed, how it restructures your brain, how it reprograms you to be constantly on edge and hypervigilant, and more importantly, how to undevelop it, how to make a full recovery from it. So I highly encourage you to download that. Extremely informative. It's going to give you so much clarity. And give you just a lot of hope that you can actually recover from this thing. And what you can also do is follow me on Instagram. I post a ton of daily tips, inspiration, just a ton of content That's going to help you along your recovery journey. And then we also have our private Facebook group. You can join that as well if you want to connect closer, ask questions, and just be a part of a community that's dedicated, a dedicated space for this form of anxiety. All right, so if you liked the video, this is something you can totally relate to. You please like and subscribe, and thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video. All right, see you later.